Welcome back. I'm Statue Fanatic here with another review of an amazing XM piece. This is of the Black Panther, the King of Wakanda, T'Challa. This is a piece that I have been anticipating for a very long time, and I finally got it. I was extremely excited when it showed up. I think this has got to be one of the, if not the best rendition of Black Panther that's out there. If you're trying to collect a definitive Black Panther, this is the character that I think you should collect from XM. There is the sideshow version out there that's really cool, and believe it or not, there's the Kotobukiya Black Panther that is, I think, 1/10 scale, and it also is a really nice piece as well. But this, my friend, this is definitely a definitive Black Panther. Black Panther first appeared in Fantastic Four 52 and 53 in 1966. The character has had multiple arc lines and storylines throughout the Marvel Universe. I think he is one of the most interesting characters in the Marvel Universe. One of his stories even including marrying Storm, which ties into the Civil War saga. And I'm really happy and excited to see that he's finally getting his own movie. But if you want to know more about Black Panther and his history and maybe some suggested reading materials, I would recommend that you check out Variant Comics' History of the Black Panther. They do a really great job breaking down his history and also suggesting some really cool backstories to read about the character. Now, moving on to the paint job on the character. I think the paint job is spot on. Looking at his eyes, his armband, his belt, and nails, I could not find one flaw with the paint. There is a blue tinge to the shading on the costume that gives the black costume this appearance of more depth and dimension. Taking a look at the paint on the base, the shading is done really well. It also gives a real sense of depth and dimension to the base as well, and it also gives it a more realistic stone feel look to the statue. Taking a look at his pose, the stealthy, watchful, battle-ready pose is awesome. Displaying him elevated at or above waist level will sort of enhance that effect. The sculpt of the figure is also incredible. It's hard to know where to start when it comes to the sculpt of this statue. The statue is fully sculpted in cold cast porcelain, except the cape seems to be cast in some sort of lightweight resin, probably polyurethane, I'm assuming, which considering the size of the cape, I think this is a good thing because I can see how this could easily be damaged otherwise. The body has some amazing detail on it. His costume is sculpted with various details, giving it a material-like look on it. If you look at the costume, various parts of the costume look like it's got some type of mesh look to it, and other parts of it do not. It gives a very cool look to the costume. You can see all the dimensions on it. The incredible detail paid even to the seams on the costume, the stitching on the costume. You can see each stitch, each seam going down his legs and up his arms, and the costume fits him so well. You can see all the muscle tone through the costume. I love the ornaments that they placed on the costume, like his armbands that are around the gauntlet he's wearing. The brass ring that's around his biceps all look really cool. The necklace, for example, it's a separate piece, and it looks like it's made out of some type of metal. The ring itself looks like it is brass, and then the ornaments around the brass ring looks a bit metal, with that ruby that really stands out in the middle of it. The spear he's holding also has a metal tip to it and a metal end, and it has really pronounced detailing on the spear head. My favorite part of this statue is the portrait, is the head sculpt, and I think both of them are amazing. The one that is masked has more of the detail that I talked about that's in the costume, that has the mesh around his jawline. His eyes are painted really nice in terms of detail. There's no white overspilling in his eyes. It's not like a decal like on Ghost Rider. It's actually painted. And then there's stitching around his ears, around the ear looking part of the statue. But the one that I like most is the unmasked portrait. This guy right here. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the best sculpts out there for any character in terms of realism and detail that's paid to the statue. Everything from his hair, and having an African character like this, the detail on it could be really difficult, I think, to get done and do it in a way that makes it look realistic and natural. And they did a fantastic job. Even the way that his bra is frowning and he's focusing down on whatever he's looking at, the way his eyes are painting, very nice detail in his brown eyes. And then there's shading throughout his hair and shading around his face that gives a really realistic look. This is how I intend to display him with the unmasked portrait, because I absolutely love that portrait of Black Panther. The base of the statue is huge. The shading, like I said early on the statue, is done well. It's painted to give it a realistic rock look and stone look to the statue. If you turn around here, you can see these two poles that are painted to give it a wooden type look. And then these look like they're actually real rope that's tied around the poles themselves. The detail just goes all around the statue. It doesn't just stop in the front. I mean, the back is detailed, and XM does a really good job with that. It's like, even though you can't see it, it's all sculpted, all detailed. There are vines that are running through the ruins or the statues of sculpture, the statues that are part of the base itself. The statue here, the larger one, has the appearance of a cat or a panther. A little bit about the statue overall. There were 800 pieces made of this statue, and it's about 24 inches wide and 24 inches high, and it has about a 17-inch depth. However, it does weigh almost 30 pounds. I think it's 28 pounds, so it's a pretty heavy piece, and it's going to require some space for you to put it in. It's not too tall, but it's definitely overall is a massive piece that you have to plan on where you're going to put it. It is a really, really nice piece overall, so I am extremely happy with it. One of my favorite pieces. I think I say this about every piece, but this is one of my favorite pieces because Black Panther is just a cool-ass character. So anyway, until next time, peace. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time.